So the problem with a lot of people out there who seem to think they're on the right side of history is that they seem to be suffering from Stockholm syndrome. They seem to, I don't know, fall in love or admire, idolize certain figures because of very, in the grand scheme, really insignificant issues, right? Such as LGBT. Those, you know, those movements are being funded in order to divide the people and to distract people from. And look, I'm not saying that these aren't important issues. Obviously, they have to have a certain level of importance in order for people to play along, right? To buy into this stuff as oh so very important and perhaps more important than what they really are. So this whole idea, for example, that like because Putin is anti-LGBT ostensibly. I mean, if he's a Sabbatean Frankist, then trust me, he gets piped plenty. Like okay, behind closed doors. If he's part of the Rasputin crew, uh, which he could be, I don't know, then he probably gets piped plenty. Okay, and it seems like he was put in power by, you know, Klaus Schwab. And this is what triggers a lot of people who, once again, have fallen in love with certain figures because, you know, they rule with an iron fist. Forget the fact that he's murdered hundreds of thousands, perhaps, of innocent people, you know, in order to achieve his political goals, right? Forget the fact that he's enslaved his people, he's mandating the vaccines, right, and all this other nonsense that every other uh, Kabbalistic, if you will, right, country leader or a country leader that's connected to bribed by, it doesn't fucking matter, right? It's playing ball with the cabal, right? Like none of that matters because you know he's anti-LGBT, so he must be a good guy, right? I mean, wow. So all I did, right, is I just mirrored a video from some other channel where Klaus Schwab calls Putin in 2017, right? So four and a half years ago. Wait, yeah, something like that. Not even. Um, it just says that Vladimir Putin is one of his minions. He just tells you, right? I mean, that's all I did, right? And then I said, yeah, he's part of the cabal, right? And I gave you, I've made so many videos explaining why that is, right? Like, let me not get into that here. I've made plenty of arguments for why he's part of the team, right? So someone like Davis M gets all triggered and, well, let's play a game, Davis. A game we'll call Count the Fallacies, right? To see if you're making any sense. So Davis M responds, quote, just because he was once connected to this cabal, that doesn't mean he still is, right? So what's the fallacy, right? Well, I don't know the official name of the fallacy, but here's one. Um, the statement in and of itself, right off the bat, assumes that he isn't connected, right, to the cabal. I'm giving you evidence showing you that he is connected, and this person is right off the bat, right. The presupposition is that he isn't connected. I'm giving you evidence. You're just saying shit that just because he was once connected. So this is circular reasoning, also, right? Just because he's no longer connected, that means he's no longer connected. Or he's no longer connected because he's no longer connected, right? This is circular reasoning. It's another fallacy. It's a strawman. 3 fallacies. 1 sentence, bro, and you already committed 3 fallacies. You all right there? Getting a little triggered? A little emotional? This is not a channel for children, honey. Sweetie. Strawman fallacy, right? 1 sentence, 3 fallacies already. God damn. I've never said that he's no longer connected to the cabal, right? I've never said that you can't change your mind or you can't be part of something and then not be part of. I've never said any of this, right? I'm just giving you evidence, more and more and more and more evidence for why he is part of the cabal. Where's your evidence, right? All you have is fallacies. Wow, gee. Now, that doesn't prove that I'm correct in what I'm saying, but if we are to be honest, logical, and reasonable people, if I'm providing you with a whole bunch of evidence for what I'm saying and you don't have any evidence, just fallacies, then who is more likely to be right? And if this is a debate, you just lost. Okay, maybe he is, but maybe he's not. That means nothing, right? It means absolutely nothing. And as just explained, it's likely that he is, because the evidence. It's awful logic. Logic. It's awful logic to use, right? Once again, strawman argument. I've never said that just because you're something. He says 20 years ago. This was 4 years ago, right? Just because you were something 4 years ago, that doesn't mean that you are that same thing today, right? I've never said that. I've given you arguments and provided you with evidence for why he still is, right? I never said that just because he was now, like that's a strawman argument. Haven't your beliefs changed, right? Yeah, my beliefs change based on evidence. I'm an evidence-based believer. Maybe, and so what's the argument? Just because my beliefs have changed, that means that Putin's beliefs have changed in the last 4 years? That's a non sequitur fallacy. Maybe they're pulling out all the stops against him because he's a traitor to them. Now it's just like, fantasy. He's a traitor to them. Putin is a traitor to them. You're just saying things. Where's the evidence that he's a traitor? You've presented no evidence, right? He's still on their side. Like, I made a whole bunch of videos showing you why he's on their side, right? So all you have to do, instead of getting triggered like a little girl, you could just Google Putin World Economic Forum, and you don't even have to spell his name correctly. You're going to get some results. Vladimir Putin, World Economic Forum. According to, he's got his own bio on the WEC website. President of the Russian Federation, Office of the President of Russian Federation, 1975 graduate, Law Department, Leningrad State University, 1975. So former KGB agent, right? No, he's not part of the cabal. Former KGB agent, right? Come on, man. Let's see what else they have to say about him on the world. Sorry, but we can't find the page you were looking for because he left the cabal. He's no longer part of our team. He's now an enemy to us, okay? And this proves it. Fuck out of here. What happened to Putin's page, guys? What happened? Okay, so CNBC. Russia's Putin at the World Economic Forum warns of... So this is 2021, right? At this latest World Economic Forum. All you gotta do is just fucking stop getting emotional like a little girl and Google something, yeah? Russian President Vladimir Putin warned the World Economic Forum that the coronavirus pandemic, right? So he pushes the pandemic. Whoopty, like, he's not part of the cabal, but he pushes the pandemic, right? Has exacerbated pre-existing imbalances and tensions, right? So he's saying we're going to use the pandemic, insinuating, right? In light of what has just happened, right? We could reasonably interpret that statement as we're going to have to go to war because of the pandemic, right? Which is something people like myself have been predicting for a while now, that this is going to happen. And lo and behold, here it is happening, right? If the hypotheses you present have predictive power, it's likely that they are correct. Definitely more correct than a whole bunch of fallacies you have in response. Get out your fucking feelings. You're pathetic. He said Continuing, these could deteriorate to a point where there is a fight of all against all. So the pandemic could cause World War III. Putin's virtual address at the World Economic Forum was unexpected. Come on. London. President Vladimir Putin warned on Wednesday that the coronavirus pandemic has, okay, we said all this. The coronavirus pandemic has become a major challenge to mankind. And it has, right? Like, do we really need to get into the details that Davis M. no doubt agrees with, right? Come on. It's not a major challenge to mankind. That's not it. Sorry. But that's completely, this is the WEC plan rhetoric. Like, they're not even hiding it anymore. And Putin, as of about a year ago, not 20 years ago, about a year ago, reiterated that same rhetoric. He's towing the same line a year ago, and now, just a few days ago, up until right now, he's following the plan. But just because he was, really, that's the best you can do? Really? We have every reason to believe that the tensions might be aggravated even further, right? Citing experts that have likened the current state of global affairs to the 1920s and 1930s, right? What I've been talking about. Spanish flu, World War II, right? Duh, it's not difficult to see. Parallels could be drawn between then and now when it comes to the scale and scope of what he called systemic challenges and potential threats, right? So we need a different system. We need a new world order. He said the crisis had increased social stratification, populism, right and left-wing radicalism, adding to that domestic political processes were becoming more violent. All of this cannot but impact international relations, making them less stable and predictable. Well, I don't agree with the predictable part. I mean, he's predicting it, right? In the 20th century, the failure and inability to centrally resolve such issues resulted in, right? So we need global government. The reason why we had World War II is because we didn't have global government. We don't have global government, we're going to have World War III. Blah, blah, blah. Because it would mean that if we go into World War III, I'm interpreting a lot, but I mean, it's not that fucking difficult. It would mean the end of our civilization, right? New world order. But I would like to reiterate that the situation might develop unpredictably and uncontrollably if we sit on our hands doing nothing to avoid it. We may experience an actual collapse of global development, right? The guy is saying, oh, global economy and progress might be stifled, while at the same time stifling, right? Going into Ukraine and causing all kinds of havoc that I already described in great detail. I won't be getting into here, right? Putin, whose appearance on the Davos Agenda Summit was not listed on the pre-conference schedule, right? So they're kind of trying to hide him, like so that all the right-wing retards don't catch on too quickly, right? Just like his bio disappeared off the World Economic Forum webpage, right? Oh, it's the Russian hackers. It was the Russian hackers. Fuck me, man. He said that such a fight would mean not only the destruction of traditional values, but also of fundamental freedoms, right? So ostensibly he's pro-traditional values, while at the same time doing exactly that which he says will destroy traditional values, right? And freedom. A common responsibility today was to avoid such a dystopic future, he added. Okay, well then don't go to war. Stop murdering people all over the goddamn place. 2020 has been a year stop muzzling people. Stop, if you're anti the erosion of freedoms, stop taking them away. Let people live, right? So he's criticizing Black Lives Matter as a problem while he's sending, neo-Nazis who have a history of genociding Poles to Poland, right? Okay. With Zelensky giving them fucking guns. Whoop-de-doo. Putin's appearance at the summit, which usually takes place in the ski resort of Davos, Switzerland, and attracts global leaders from the political business world, is contentious. But Klaus Schwab, founder and executive chairman of the World Economic Forum, introduced Putin by saying that Russia was a long-standing participant and that it was important that constructive dialogue continues in times of dispute and difference. my Putin, he gon' get the gays, I tell you. This is the same retarded narrative as, Trump's gonna let out all the kids out of the basements. This is the same fucking nonsense as the QAnon, right? You guys are a bunch of fucking sheep, man. Those of you that are, okay? Shout out to the real, and all you little fucking girls. See if you could reach down between your legs, see if there's maybe at least one testicle left, grab that motherfucker, and start speaking the truth, clown. Teaching me about logic. Go fuck yourself. Thank you for watching.